Hey, my name is Zhengli Qiang, and welcome to this course. And next, we will introduce the topics of random sampling. And generally speaking, random has two types. One is random sampling, another is random allocation. Sometimes called the random allocation is the randomization. And the random sampling is the chance to determine who will be in the sample, and the random sampling will help us to ensure the representativeness. Random sampling is drawn from the population using probability device. And today we will introduce the frequent types of sampling, include the simple random sampling and the stratified random sampling, systematic and class random sampling. First, we will talk about the simple random sampling. Simple random sampling is from the population using the lottery computer-generated numbers or random numbers table. And the lottery is very simple and easy to implement. You can, for example, to select names in the hat, you can drop all of the names into the hat, then select some names from the hat. That is lottery. Another is a computer-generated numbers. You can use this method to select a study population in a large sample cross-section study. You can use the SAS or SPSS software to implement the random sampling. And the random numbers table is a common type method. Yes, this is an example of the random numbers table. I will recommend you to use the computer-generated numbers to implement the random sampling. And another second random sampling method is stratified. Firstly, stratify all of the population into specific stratas according to some characteristics, such as age, sex. Secondly, the researcher obtains a probability sample from each stratum. Finally, merge all these samples from each stratum to the final sample. Thus, the stratified random sampling will help us to improve the sample representativeness. Yes, the stratified random sampling has some advantages. First, the stratified random sampling has a greater precision than a simple random sampling. Often, the stratified random sampling often requires a smaller sample, which saves money and can guard against an unrepresentative sample. And we can ensure that we obtain sufficient sample points to support a separate analysis of a subgroup. And some disadvantages should be paid attention to. Compared to simple random sampling, stratified sampling has two main disadvantages. It may require more administrative effort than a simple random sample, and the analysis is very complicated. This is the third method of systematic sampling. Firstly, number all of the observations units according to a certain characteristic order, then divide it into several parts according to the sampling region. Next, randomly select the first observation unit from the first part. Then, at regular intervals, the observation units are sampled from the second, third, and so on. Yes, this example how to select 4 nurses to be a team from the 16 nurses. Firstly, we will number all of the nurses from 1 to 16. Then we'll separate the 16 nurses into 4 parts. Then we will select the randomly select the first one from the first parts. For example, the number 2 Then we will select the number 2, number 6, number 10, number 14, and 4 nurseries to be a team. The final method that we introduce the class sampling. Class sampling refers to a sampling method that has the following properties. And the population is divided into n groups called cluster. The researcher then randomly selects some cluster to include in the sample, and all of the study subjects in the selected cluster consist of the study sample. These are advantages and disadvantages and the class sampling. And the class sampling is very convenient and is less cost. And but the class sampling has less precision than as a simple random sampling or stratified sampling. This is a summary. In all of the methods of random sampling, stratified random sampling has less random error and has the best precision. And the class random sampling needs a large sample size over simple random sampling and stratified random sampling. And you can merge in clinical practice or nursing practice, you can merge one or more sampling methods in epidemiological study practices. For example, stratified class random sampling. These are some references. Thank you very much.